Hi everybody. For those of you that don't know who I am, my name is Nicolas van Rensburg, and I've been involved in the direct selling industry now for 15 years. And over the first 13 years in the industry, I was actually involved in the field. And so I was very blessed to have built a successful business globally. I've met the most incredible people and contacts, still have so many good friends around the world. And there was a new calling on my life that came about two and a half years ago. And one chapter closed and the new chapter opened up. And since then, for the last almost 2 years now, I've been exclusively with the AIM companies. And it's been such an incredible time with the company. I've got to love the staff, I've got to love the people, the members. The company's got such an incredible culture, so unique. It's so difficult to find a company that has got such a culture, built into it and kept that culture for over 30 years. So it's been a real pleasure to work with AIM. And my job as a consultant now is to work with AIM, work with the staff and help take AIM into the future. And today I just wanted to share a couple of things with you on my heart and show a couple of stats on why you should be excited about the future and why you should be focused on your future. So, first of all, we're living in such a strange time right now. And I want to bring you some good news because there's a lot of negativity going around, a lot of depressed people. At the moment, we are in our eighth week in lockdown, and South Africa has one of the most rigorous, stringent lockdowns in the world. And so we don't know when the light is coming. So we've had to just embrace it. But, you might be listening to this, and I don't know where you're listening in from, but you might still be in lockdown. You might be sort of having the lockdown lifted, or you might be completely returned back to normal. But either way, where you are in that process, this epidemic and these times have completely changed things for all of us. And this pandemic has actually accelerated inevitable changes. And so these changes have arrived much sooner than what we could have ever expected. But the thing is, if you understand these changes and you learn from them and you embrace them, it's actually very exciting times, especially for people involved with the AIM companies. And so today I want to talk more about the good news. I want to highlight these changes for you. And so, first of all, what's been so interesting is that I've observed so many friends and even their grandparents that have had to learn to embrace technology. It's been fascinating to watch where people have resented technology for so long, but now they couldn't even visit their friends down the road. And so the only way that they could have or feel like they could have that human interaction and contact is through video messaging. And so I've seen so many friends and family members install different types of apps on their phones and reach out to each other and start to do this video conferencing, video games. And it's been amazing to watch, but it's been interesting to see how quickly people have adapted and embraced this change because they were forced to. I mean, in South Africa, we've had no way up until now to visit friends and family. And so it's been interesting to see how technology, has impacted all of our lives. People have also started to realize what's important to them during this lockdown. A lot of people have reached out to me and said, Nicolas, I know you're in the health industry. You have access to health products. Me and my family are looking to boost our immune systems. And people are actually spending a lot of money on now suddenly what's becoming more important to them. And so priorities are changing during this time in lockdown. I also had a couple of two friends reach out to me a few weeks ago. And they said to me, Nicolas, for the first time, I actually realize what it's like to work from home and be there for the kids and not wake up to an alarm clock, not get in a car and fight traffic all the way to work. And people have actually, for the first time, had this little small taste of what it is like to manage and work in your own hours. So research has actually found that employees are actually being more productive now when they work from home. And so a lot of companies are now looking at ways in which, if it allows them to, how they can actually let employees work from home. I mean, a lot of people now don't have to get up early, fight the alarm clock, race to work in traffic, get there frustrated with anger, and people are actually being more productive working from home. And so a lot of companies are doing this. They're finding ways for employees to work from home, which saves them cost on overheads as well. And so things really are starting to change because of this pandemic. And there's been a lot of good changes that's happened during this lockdown, but at the same time, there's also been some horrible things that have happened. We can't ignore the reality of what's happened. A lot of people have lost their jobs. A lot of people have lost their jobs. A lot of people who actually have their own small business are unable to keep it open. I've got some friends that are hairdressers and work from home, and this has really hit them the hardest. There's been a lot of unemployment as well. So, just in the USA alone, there's been over 40 million people estimated that will file for unemployment. That is 40 million people that will be out of work in the US just the first half of this year. And so there's a lot of people out there that are looking for answers, looking for opportunities. And this is where the good news comes in. Because, if you think about it, if 40 million people are out of work, can you imagine when the economy turns again, a lot of these people are actually going to be competing for those job opportunities. And so, it's going to be so competitive out there. It's going to be so tough out there. And I think this is where the good news comes in, because AIM offers those people hope. It offers them an opportunity vehicle where they can either start to, from day one, start to earn money from working at home with no overheads, no staff. And two, you can also start to share these incredible products with people and start to make a difference in people's lives. And so, this is forming up to be that perfect opportunity vehicle now that should make you really excited. And, through every storm, there's a light at the end of the tunnel. And I think if we understand all the dynamics that's happening right now and what we have at our grasp, the tools that you have with the AIM companies, the products that you have, you should be so excited about what you are able to bring to the world after this pandemic. And so, a lot of members that I've been chatting to, a lot of members actually had some of their biggest months in the AIM history over the last 2-3 months. And that's just a testament to show you of how people are opening up their eyes and their minds to opportunities and to their health. And so, to prove and show you what I'm talking about, there's a company called Ipsos, based out of Europe, and they are one of the world's largest research firms where they conduct research on an annual basis in certain industries. And, interesting enough is this company partnered with the DSA, and the DSA is the body that regulates all the direct selling and network marketing companies across the world. And what they found was staggering. So they took a whole bunch of people from 18-year-olds plus across the US, an extensive group. And what they did is they looked at how many of these people are interested and flexible at actually starting some sort of at-home business or some entrepreneurial business. And as you can see on the slide, 77%, just think about this for a second, 77% of Americans are interested in some sort of flexible part-time opportunity. That is incredible. That means 3 out of 4 people that you chat to on average have an open mind about starting their own business from home. And if you move over here to the right, where it shows you there that, if you talk about this at-home business or opportunity, 79% of those people were open to the direct selling industry. And that is the industry that AIM is a part of. And the reason that this is if you think about it, for the last 10, 20 years, companies in this direct selling industry they've had to sell the story that your job might not be as secure as what you think. They need to sell a story to say, listen, you actually need to possibly look at a second income, have a backup income, a safety net, additional income, so that when times get tough, you have a plan B. Now, if you look at what's happened worldwide, for one of the first times in history, you do not need to sell this story to people. People have seen the results of what's happened with COVID around the world. People are naturally now open to opportunities. And this is a big part of what's going to happen that's going to drive this industry forward. And, one of the most important things now, and this is where I have such a, where AIM is just incredible, is if you go to the bottom of this slide, direct selling companies, to start your own business with AIM, cost you less than $100. All right. Where in the world can you launch a business for less than $100? That's the reason why this becomes such an attractive opportunity, because there is no risk. In fact, you're going to get products for that you can try out. If you look at realtors or even, if you start your own in companies, insurance companies, or even if you go into franchising, the risk dramatically increases. And if things go bad, there is no way that you are going to recover that capital investment. And so that's why, companies like AIM, it's such a beautiful model for what we're having right now that's happening in the world. So if you look at this next picture here, and I thought I would show you guys, this is so interesting, is Ipsos partnered up with the DSA, and they put together an event where they wanted to showcase all this data and studies to the industry. And because they felt like they were dealing, they had such a big breakthrough with the study, and they wanted to show the future of the industry, they called this event Vision 2020. And I thought that was so ironic because, if you think back already a year ago, AIM named, which was supposed to be this year's celebration, Clear Vision 2020, which I thought was just amazing because I felt like we were ahead of the time before the industry on this. And so just something cool that I wanted to share with you guys. So an important part about having a vision is embracing change. And so I thought I'd quickly share this short clip with you.
Jack Welch once said, "Change before you have to." How true that is. Championship leaders understand that in order to remain relevant and competitive, they must foster a culture that embraces change. When you think about the brands that have been around for 100+ years, how they looked in the beginning is much different than how they look now. They changed. The brands they once competed with no longer exist. Why? They didn't change. Grace Hopper once said, "The most dangerous phrase in language is, 'We've always done it this way.' As the leader, you must relentlessly fight this mindset. Don't allow your team to focus on how things used to be, because used-to-bes don't make honey. Instead, focus on how things are gonna be. Gonna-bes make honey. Gonna-bes have a clear vision of the future and how they need to grow in order to become that better version of themselves. They understand constant growth requires constant change. Remember what John Maxwell once said, 'Change is inevitable. Growth is optional.' Close your eyes and visualize what things will look like in 3 years. How will you need to evolve in order to meet that vision and be a front runner in your space when the time comes? What changes do you need to make? Start making those changes now. As the leader, you have the remote. If you don't like the channel you're on, nobody can change it but you. So stand up and change it. And don't be afraid of the naysayers. As Eleanor Roosevelt said, do what you feel is right, for you will be criticized anyways. Trust your instincts. Pursue your vision. Even if no one else sees it, just start the journey. The others will follow. And stay ready. New levels will bring new devils. But the higher you climb, the stronger you'll get. Take pride in being a professional problem solver as you rise. Remind your team that every change you make is an effort to get better. You don't change for the sake of changing. Like Jim Rohn said, life does not get better by chance. It gets better by change. At the core behind every big change is a why, and that why is to get better.
So now that we know that the industry is in the right space, and we know that AIM is perfectly positioned for this growth and for these changes, I wanted to quickly share with you 5 tips that has really helped me in my business and that I've seen thousands of people, including to their businesses, that have got to the top. And so let's quickly go through these 5 points. So point number 1 is protect your headspace. And what I mean by this is we need to be so aware of what we are feeding into our minds on a daily basis. If you just open up your phone and look at the news, or you put the TV on, things are so negative, and that can very quickly impact, your thoughts and just put you down. And, one negative comment or thought is 17 times more powerful than your positive thoughts. And so we need to just be very mindful of what we are allowing to come in. Back in my early days when I first joined the industry, I had so many friends say to me, don't get involved, you won't succeed, you're too young, it's a scam. I heard that word scam so many times, and it's taken so much out of context. I mean, you can pretty much say that anything in life is a scam. Example, I've got friends that have went to the gym for the past 2 years, and I see absolutely no difference in their body or their weight. I've got friends that join the gym and then 2 months later they quit and they don't renew their membership. We can't call the gym a scam. The fact is that the people or the person that was gymming didn't work. The people don't work. And so you need to be very careful from who you're taking advice from and who you're listening to. And, looking back at those friends that shot me down, once I did start to succeed and have results, I lost those friendships because those friends did not want the best for me. And then, of course, I had many friends that came forth and supported me, and those turned out to be my true friends. So number 1, protect your headspace. So point number 2 is share your vision. And what I mean by this is that it is so important for you to share your vision and your goals with someone that's going to support you and someone that's going to be there for you during your tough times. Luckily in our business, you have ample support from so many people that want you to succeed. And so, in the AIM business, you can share your vision and your goals with maybe a mentor, maybe one of your friends, your uplines, perhaps even your spouse. I know a lot of couples that do this business together, and it's crucial that when you have these down days and when you have these days that you want to quit, you have your support there to pick you back up again. And, thinking back, I worked on something called the buddy system, where I would share my vision with one of my buddies in the business. And whenever I had those days that I just wanted to quit and throw in the towel, I had that person remind me of my vision and my goals. And so support really is everything. And so it's so important that you share your vision. So point number 3 is learn from the best. And this for me is like a secret weapon, because you have ample people out there around the world. In today's digital age and technology age, we have unlimited information. And so there is so many people out there that have spent their entire life trying to figure out how to do it best, how to do it the quickest, and they've failed for you. And so what I mean by learn from the best is, contact your uplines, your sponsors, connect in with the Chrysalis networks or whatever, training you're dealing with, and learn from people that have made mistakes for you already. Learn from the best. And, you can right now pull up thousands and thousands and thousands of hours on YouTube on a specific topic in our industry and learn how certain people have overcome those obstacles. And so, that's why I'm such a big fan of information and reading, because you can sometimes learn someone's whole life lessons in one single book. So learn from the best. So point number 4 is to manage your expectations. We're living in a world now where people want instant gratification. If they're sick, they want to wake up better tomorrow. If they're broke, they want to be rich tomorrow. And I feel like this is something that the industry in general is selling people very short of, is to manage their expectations. The best example I can think of is in South Africa, where I'm from. We are one of the largest diamond mining countries in the world. And The people that run the mine know that you have to sift through tons and tons and tons of dirt in order to find that one special diamond. They expect it, and they manage the expectations very well. And so in our industry, you need to know that you're going to have to sift through many contacts, webinars, trainings, attend many events. A lot of sifting has to be done in order for you to find your diamonds. Now, if you're smart, you can make that sifting a very fun and rewarding process. And what I mean by that is that, what you should do is find the art of just making a friend. So many people today, see a person with a transactional mindset. And what I mean by that is that so many people see someone as a potential sale, or they see someone as that next recruit that they need in order to get to the next level. All right. If I can encourage you to completely remove that transactional mindset, make a friend, because when you make genuine friends, the natural flow of discussion is what's your hobbies, what's your business, what do you enjoy? And that then presents itself where you can start to share your business and your products. So very important to manage expectations and make friends. And then lastly, point number 5 is to be prepared to fail. Be prepared for failure. And I want to spend a bit of time on failure because I think that failure teaches you things that you don't learn from success. I think failure gives you an opportunity for self-examination. And that gives you a feeling that is very uncomfortable. And that very uncomfortable feeling is actually what helps you grow. Don't look at these failures as proof that you cannot do it, but rather as an opportunity for growth and an opportunity to do better. If you look at someone who is successful at their craft, let's say, for example, the comedian Kevin Hart, all you see is him now, flying around in his private jets, speaking to large crowds, driving around in Bentleys. You just see that. What you don't see is him being a young kid in Philadelphia, going to open mic nights, being laughed at and not laughed with, and failing forward every single day. You see, there's a progression that he went through that we are not witness to. And you don't see that. All you see is his results and his success. And so this progression, this process takes place in all successful people. It doesn't matter if you are a professional network marketer, if you're an author, a golfer, a musician, it doesn't matter. There is always a starting point. And then after that point, there is time and focus. And as long as you reevaluate yourself and you constantly and objectively look at what you are doing and pursue it with passion, focus, and a purpose, you get better at things. There's always going to be people that are luckier than you. Some of it's luck, but almost every time it's focus. The great Gary Player, golfer, once said that the more you practice, the luckier you get. You see, you have to put yourself out there and you have to try new things. You should always do things that are difficult. It's very important to struggle. We have been fed this lie that you're supposed to seek comfort. And I don't think you're supposed to seek comfort. The biggest enemy to success is the comfort zone. I think that you're supposed to seek lessons. You're supposed to seek difficult tasks and difficult accomplishments. You don't get to know your boundaries unless you push them. And you don't really get to know who you truly are unless you test it. So embrace failure and learn to grow through it. So in closing, I'm so excited about where we're going, and think about this for a second. The founders of the AIM companies are investing heavily back into the future of AIM. And that in itself is such a rare trait to possess. I mean, so many founders out there today are, number one, content with their company, or two, they're just trying to keep the company afloat and surviving month to month, year to year. It's almost like the founders have gone back to their roots and are planting the seeds, harvesting, watering, fertilizing, because they want to bear the fruit for generations to come. And so AIM is going places, all right? Mark my words, AIM's going places, AIM's moving ahead, AIM's going to be ready for the future. AIM's the perfect time now, and now the ball lies in your court. And if I could give you any words of encouragement and wisdom, is that there's someone out there that wants what you have. There's people out there that need what you have. There's people out there praying that someone like you would come to them with this opportunity or with this product. And so I really encourage you to remove that transactional mindset, start to make friends, network, and you will start to make a difference in people's lives. And the natural reaction of that is you achieving your goals. And so, during these times, some people might be in a crisis, but I've always told myself that through hard times and tough times, you can either grow through it or you can go through it. And I really suggest, that you grow through this time, because that is what the next competition is all about, is grow. And so thank you so much for tuning in. I hope you've learned something today. I can't wait to meet you one day at a future event. Wishing you all the best, and hopefully I'll see you soon. Thank you.